Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise. My name is Jason. Welcome to this whiskey review, where today, here on the channel, we're going to be reviewing the Old Pulteney 18-year-old. So, we're continuing off and I'm actually concluding our mini-series into Old Pulteney. And if you haven't missed any of the videos, I want to say just go check out the playlist here in the top corner. And you can stay up to date as we'll have the reviews on the Old Pulteney Huddart, the 15, and this one being the 18. And including, if you like the older Old Pulteneys, the 12, the 17, the 21, and the 1989 vintage. Feel free to go and check out the link in the top corner. So, today we concluded the series, but with the Old Pulteney 18-year-old. This is the oldest release at the moment, part of their core range. So it's 18 years old, bottled at 46%. I do know there is a 25 and a 35, but that's sort of more into their limited edition. Now, the actual cask maturation for this one is matured primarily in second fill bourbon barrels and then also a period of time in first fill Spanish oak. And the distillery itself is the Pulteney Distillery. They're owned by the parent company Inverhouse Distillers, and they're located in the Highland region of Scotland, and specifically Wick, all the way up in the north. Now, at some point I hope to visit all the way up in the north. The last time, the furthest I got was to Clynelish and to Brora. Fingers crossed we'll be able to get all the way up to the top and pay them a visit, because I've been hearing some really good things. Now, in terms of the price point, on a full-size bottle of the Old Pulteney 18-year-old, you're looking at around about 112 to 115 pounds here in the United Kingdom. And it's not an exclusive whiskey, as it will be available globally everywhere as it's part of their core range. So, without further ado, this just jump straight into the nose. To begin things on the nose, so the Old Pulteney 18, this has so much going on the nose that I'm also going to compare at the end to the older series and let you guys know which one this actually fits in with, because I've seen a lot of people tell me fits in with the 17, but they compare it to the 17. However, the profile of this one I think is more towards the 21. So starting things off on the nose, first impressions, boom, in the back of my head, I think of a Manzanilla sherry, whereas I'm getting this little salty, but at the same time this sweet, fruitier presence. There is notes of dark chocolate, but it's like dark chocolate infused together with sea salt. And then I'm getting this really interesting salted carameled apples together, coming together with all these different flavors. It's got so much going on the nose in this one. There's even a little sweeter note of like that vanilla fudge, which I found very consistent through these expressions. But then there is also a hint of this one of cinnamon. Maybe like a nice warm cinnamon bun. There is a little of that character, like a little spirity character as well coming through. But it's like rum, but not rum-soaked raisins, but rum-soaked sultanas. So from the second nosing of this one, I had to give this a little bit more time on the nose, because this one keeps developing the further it's had time to breathe. For me, it's continuing on with those flavors, but then a little bit of this like a plum juice, but like a plum wine almost. It's very interesting. And then it's got this almondy, almost like a nutty presence. Or like an almond nougat. As if you go to the countryside, sometimes you find these almond nougats exactly like that on the nose. I think that's about it. There's a little waxy presence as well, which it caught me off guard. But we'll jump into the palate. Fingers crossed it's on the actual palate itself. Slanger. So getting into the palate now. First impression of the palate, you are greeted with a nice sort of medium, maybe medium full texture. A nice rich mouth presence. You start with these citrus notes. It's like a combination of grapefruit and orange, but quite ripe grapefruit and orange together. Gingerbread biscuits, adding a little bit of warmth and spice, but at the same time a little bit of sweetness, with a little combination of glazed honey over these gingerbread biscuits. There is that little bit of salted butter presence as well. But then it's got this nice, sort of a very nice juicy sultana presence as well with this. And then you're getting those apples back in this one. It's a little spiced apple. A little bit of dried apricot, and then you go into these, a bit more of these Oloroso sherry characters. For me, I'm picking out these raisins, a little bit of prunes, and it keeps going on and on and on. I'm going to have another sip, see what else I can pick out on the palate, but this has got so much. This is actually one of the very few times the whiskey just keeps making me go back to the glass. Wow. Second sip's delivering up again exactly all those flavors, and it's kind of overwhelming. There's a sweet malty presence, and as you hold it, the back palate is sort of finding this little sweeter tobacco presence and a slight leathery note. as it's almost, you can tell there's quite a bit of age to this whiskey as well. Very nice overall. Let's get to the finish, and then we'll come to our conclusion on the Old Pulteney 18-year-old. So into the finish now for the Old Pulteney 18-year-old. The length on the finish of this one is a nice medium long. It's got a nice sort of lingering character about it, a nice creaminess, citrus, malty present, at the same time getting that nice aromatic spices really rolling off the palate very well. In terms of my rating, I was going to give this around about an 88, but I'm going to give this a 90, a solid 90. Reason behind that is this whiskey, when you look at this whiskey as a whole and you compare it to the 15 is a little bit more American oak. I find that American oak dominant. This 18-year-old is a much more European oak dominant character. You're getting a lot more of those dried fruits and a lot more of that leathery character really finding its way onto the palate. It's a lot more darker. Now, if I had to compare this to the older range of the 17 and the 21, for me, this is not the 17. This is an embodiment of the 21, but younger, 3 years younger, and you're still getting those darker, fruitier presence, but not as bitter as I personally found the 21. This is a lot more of that dried, fruitier presence really combined very well. In terms of the reason 90 out of 100 is because at £115, I think that's a bit too much for an 18-year-old whiskey. I think price point on an 18-year-old whiskey should be around about under 90. Nowadays, whiskies are just getting astronomically priced, and for that, I can't support that. However, this whiskey does have a nice body. It's got a nice balance, a nice complexity about it. Does it need water? Personally, if you add a little drops of water, it'll probably make it a bit easier. But it's one of those ones you can sit there, you can pour yourself a glass, and you can spend some time. It's not something to be rushed. So time and water do play this one to its strengths. So that's going to be my opinion on this one, guys. It's a 90 out of 100. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section if you've tried the Old Pulteney 18. But if you're still a fan of the 21 as well, let me know in the comment section. So I'll leave some videos up on screen here of the Huddart and I believe the 15 and then probably the 21. So you guys can do a little comparative and go check out that video. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button and also drop it a like, as it does help us greatly. And this has been me, JasonWhiskyWise, and I'll catch you for the next video. Slanger.